Well, with the week warming up now, it's a great time to do some work out in the garden.
That's right, but you might have some questions about how to take care of your plants.
And look who's here, Lisa Briggs from the
Hi
Briggs
guys,
Company.
how are
Hello.
you?
Good, how are you? Doing well. What's new?
Well, somebody did send a question on after Monday asking about that very particular plant, what it is. So it is what we call a spring anemone, or sometimes it's called a snow anemone, and it has those white flowers. And then it gets a really interesting fuzzy kind of seed head, and it will multiply. It's a little bit of a thug in the garden, so put it in a place where it's not going to take over other things, or you can just relentlessly pull out what you don't need, because it does come out pretty easily, but it's so pretty.
Yeah, it looked really nice out there in the sun, so I hope the person who asked that question got their answer.
Yeah, sometimes people call it wind flowers. It's got a lot of common names, but it's an anemone.
Yeah, like the sea anemone,
and
the clownfish. Yeah,
exactly.
Anemone. There we go.
Anemone.
Well, we have a couple of more questions. Sandy wants to know, how can I stop my yucca plant from multiplying and taking over?
I have never seen yucca plants really take over. It's okay.
Yucca to
No
that
worries.
pronunciation I
No
did. Continue.
That's the thing with botanical language. People, nobody really speaks Latin, so nobody really knows how it's supposed to say. So anyway, usually yucca plants will send out what we call pups. So little plants off to the side. They grow in size pretty slowly. I've never seen them kind of take over a bed, but if that is happening, then what you need to do is just, as those pups start to move, just take them out. You can root them and put them in other places in your yard, or just get rid of them.
Oh, interesting.
There we go. We still have time if you want to submit any more questions. Meanwhile, we have one from Donna. I have an iris bed which produced lots of flowers this year, but the flowers were dark purple last year and the blooms are all white this year, but I didn't do anything to the plant, so why did this happen?
Well, last year we had a whole thing with crab apples where a lot of pink crab apples were blooming out in a lighter color, and we think that it was the heat. At least that's what our theory was. Sometimes plants will revert to a different color. I've never heard of iris doing that, so I'm a little bit stumped. It might be that your iris bed needs to be thinned out, so you should do that in, I would say, end of July after they've flowered. Cut back those flower heads for sure, and then you can dig out those rhizomes, sort of divide them up, get rid of any soft or nasty parts, let them dry out a little bit, and then replant them. The trick is, when you replant, to put them on the surface of the soil. Those the tops of those rhizomes need to be exposed.
Yeah.
So.
Well, moving forward in our planting season, is it safe to start buying some flowers now?
I would say everybody's been buying stuff, but it is safe, I think, to put it out. I have the day off tomorrow, and I know it's supposed to rain, but I don't care. I am planting out my coleus. I am planting out my begonias. I'm planting out my elephant ears. I'm ready. Usually the cutoff is if it gets below 45, there are a lot of really tender plants that don't do well in night temps below 45 degrees. It looks like it's going to be in the 50s for the next 10 days. So I think you can go ahead, although the average frost-free date is usually by the 20th, but we've had late frosts. A few years ago, we had one at Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So keep those cold protection things handy just in case we take a tumble again.
It's exciting to be at this point.
I think so too.
Well, I hope you have a good day off tomorrow.
I hope so too.
All right.
No rain. Somebody put a stop to that.